Welcome to this first podcast from Primal Nerds. I'm the host, Andre Barkley, and we are here live at UCON 28 in Cape Town at UCT. Our two guests are Luther de Lange from UCON and also Yamaki Cosplay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Luther as well. It's already a bit late in the afternoon. You enjoying the day so far?
Yeah, it's been lots of fun.
Just a bit warm, obviously, but apart from that...
Yeah, aside from my face nearly melting off a bit. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, let's start with Luther quickly, the chairperson of Genshiken Society. So tell us a bit about UCON. Where did it originate from? Where did the idea come together to have this event at a university from a university society?
Well, essentially, Rage has been happening in Joburg, and the committee at the time decided that we needed a Rage in Cape Town, and so they came forward and said, we are going to do that because no one else is. We're just going to have a little small thing in the sports centre, not even the sports centre at that time, it was still Jamison Hall, very small, this sort.
And when was the first UCON Expo?
2013.
2014. And then it was
13.
13,
Yes.
pardon. So it was 2013 up to 2016, then last year there wasn't one, and then this year obviously in full swing. So what was your crowd attendance 2 years ago, and how is it looking compared to this weekend's?
We assume it was about 2,000 attendance overall. We have started taking like a better note to try and just gauge that for the future, because we feel that's where we need to improve. But yeah, we feel like we are getting quite a few people this year. It's a lot less crowded, so that's one of the reasons it makes it very difficult to kind of gauge how many people are here, because the hall was the tables were very close together, and so it was very crowded.
And probably tomorrow also expecting larger crowds, especially with the advanced cosplay competitions, correct?
Yes, we hope that the different schedule will bring more people as well. Yeah.
Going over to Yamaki.
Yeah.
Always delight working with you. It's our second time
too.
now. Tell us about your cosplaying. Where did you start with cosplaying? You are 25 originally from from the Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
Now, 4 years in Cape
4 years
Town?
in Cape Town.
Where did the love come for cosplay and the cosplays that you do?
To be honest, I can't really remember what started cosplay.
It just overwhelmed you.
Yeah, it just appeared one day and that was it for the rest of my life. But I think it was something when I was really young and the Harry Potter movies were still coming out. I used to have a Harry Potter party every year, and I would kind of assign characters to my friends that were coming so that we had like the whole cast and we'd go watch the movie. And obviously I was probably Harry. I think I was always Harry.
Already starting early age cross-playing.
Yeah, cross-play at a very early age. Yeah, and I think from there it just somehow evolved into anime. I think I kind of watched an anime at some point, and I think it was Kurishitsuji, Black Butler, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I was researching it, and then the musical of it actually popped up, and I was like, what, a musical? And from there, I saw them dressing as like Ciel, I saw them dressing as Sebastian.
The technical stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this? And then I think that's kind of might be what got me into actual like anime cosplaying, but I can't really remember.
So it's basically the technical stuff and the practical stuff, the making and the living of the character, the living out the character. To get back to you, Luther, yourself, you ever cosplay, or with obviously probably with a dress-up party, that's a different story, or whatever?
Well, it's just casual cosplay. We did for our opening event, and we're probably thinking of doing it again, is
like
just to encourage.
Your committee or
yeah,
what?
we have an opening party for the first years coming in, and everyone who signs up for the year.
Hello.
Oh. You're such a fright.
Sorry, you're busy saying.
Yeah, and we try to encourage them to kind of say, just bring something small for cosplay, like just like even cat ears or something small like that. But other than that, it's mainly just every now and then if it's something casual that can easily slip into. My friend gave me a lab coat, so it's the Rick and Morty, Rick Sanchez cosplay is the go-to. Professor Utonium for my friend's 21st, but I mean, that's generally it.
And to get back to get everyone including, is that your whole idea with your committee as well with UCON to get, because you have some fabulous cosplayers as well, apart from you as well, but you have Septic Cosplay that's also here. There's a lot of other cosplayers, Luca, Michael Art, long list, I'm not going to name everyone. But how do you feel this event will expand?
The biggest thing was with the casual contest. We've always had another contest in addition to the main one, the kind of construction, typical cosplay contests. It was first budget, which was, I think, just price ranges. It was kind of to say if you aren't able to afford a massive cosplay, you can just kind of budget it and try and work within those bounds. But this year we decided for non-professionals and people who haven't done it for more than a year, they are now only ones eligible to enter, and we got a very good turnout this year. And people who generally aren't as advanced or I would say more experienced as...
That is unfortunately one of the biggest things you can obviously testify to, that is the price, especially in South Africa. It is a huge problem with EVA foam. For you as cosplayer, how does that affect your cosplays, or do you recycle more to be a bit more wise with your costumes?
I recycle like my wigs and lenses a lot. So this wig was actually for Tamaki from Orange High School Host Club. And I was kind of like, it sort of works for Bakugo. So I was like, yeah, you know, why not? Lenses are just everyone shares. But all the characters, please don't share lenses with friends. Please don't share your lenses with people. I'm talking about like sharing my lenses between my characters.
It's an hygiene thing.
But price-wise, when I was starting, I'd go for the very cheap materials because a lot of the time I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how they would work together, how they would mesh together. So I started with the cheaper ones. But now, I don't really enter competitions anymore, and I normally judge. But even though I don't enter them, I still have my own standard that I want to hit. So personally, I avoid like mini match. It's an amazing fabric to work with. It costs like 19, 20 rand a meter. It's so easy to sew. Okay, it frays quite a bit, but I mean, if you hem properly, that's not going to be an issue. But now that I feel like I've surpassed that in a sense of just having experience, I now only want to work with like viscose, which is like 70 rand a meter, or Duchess satin, or like just something, because for me it's a different look. It looks more...
And it's widely more available as well.
Yeah, no,
like
not
that.
just that, but it's just the look, the final look it gives, as opposed to like just cotton or just mini mat, which is very basic. If you have like the Duchess satin or viscose, it's just, I don't know how to explain it if you haven't worked with material, but it just gives a whole different feel. So that's kind of
just the finishing touch and how it looks, the final product.
Like each of my cosplays, even like a really simple one, it can range, excluding wigs and lenses, from about 700 to 1,500 rand each.
That's not too bad. It's actually a very small budget to work with, but that also helps a lot probably with the recycling and just to reuse and to...
Yeah. So my Star Guardian Israel cosplay, which I did for Rage last year, cost 2 grand. Because I had to buy resin for him to cast his gens. It was more EVA foam for his gauntlet. There's Duchess satin. It was lycra. So it was like, it was a lot. It was a lot of money.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy work, or like some people comment on groups or stuff like, oh, it's only sewing a few buttons on. Anyone can do that. Anyone can, and it's not that easy. It takes a lot of time. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
It's not only a week, especially if you do other stuff to do as well. It gets a bit difficult.
It is very time consuming, but I love it, so I'm not complaining.
Tell me what's your idea with the gaming as well that you're trying to do. How do you expand? Because we see gaming is obviously a very popular medium with EGE and all that type of stuff that you get. How do you implement your gaming, and how do you want to grow? What's your goal that you're working to in, let's say, 5 years or even 2-3 years?
Well, the main thing would be including other people. So we usually kind of just go to a zombie game, and that's the go-to. And then this year we were approached by Cape Town Showdown, who we have worked with in the past. I do know their names, and we thought, yes, it would be much better to have more people involved like that, and kind of have people who want to do what Zombie Gamer does, do what Cape Town Showdown do, have them kind of branch out and expand. Because I mean, gaming at Genshiken kind of did start as just like there's a space in the market. There's a kind of thing to fill at UCT. We need a gaming society. Might as well just add it on here. So I mean, as things come, we're just trying to build on to what's there. So in 5 years, I mean, making it bigger would be nice. Because I mean, at first it started out with kind of half filling the hall, then 3/4. Now it's a full hall, and Zombie Gamer can do it instantly.
And do you get a lot of spots or a lot of more people that's more interested?
It's more of a kind of inclusivity thing of how we find that a lot of people are either anime or gaming. When we ask them, they're like, I'm either anime or I'm gaming. They don't really want to mix. So it's almost a slightly forcing of mixing, but I feel that people, it's just nice to branch out and kind of it's kind of stepping out of the comfort zone, but it's still at UCON, it's still in this like space that's familiar to people.
Spoke about this earlier on. You like assaulting cameramen.
So my assault with cameramen, that's actually, well, it started off with, I was at Rage again. The bad stuff always happens at Rage for me. It's like, that's where the real bad stuff goes down. But it was 2012, and I was doing my skit in the competition. I was on stage, and I was Sakata Gitoki from Gintama. And he has an obsession with strawberry milk, and picking his nose and flicking his booger at people. That's basically all you need to know about him. And so I was doing my skit, and I had my strawberry milk, and I finished it, and at this point I was like, he's not going to go and throw it in the bin, he's just kind of going to chuck it.
This was now with the performing cosplay, not a competition.
No. It was an actual competition, and I was doing
but it's just more performing arts element to it.
I was doing the skit section, so like acting out the character. Yeah. So I'd finished it, and I was kind of like, okay, cool, bye. And I flung it, and I just heard this gasp, and I'm just like, oh no, please, what's happening? So I just try and stay in character as possible, turn around to see what's going on, and my strawberry milk wasn't actually finished. There was a little bit left, my bad, and it had hit the TV crew. I can't remember who they were, which channel they were from, but it had smacked him, and he was covered in strawberry milk, and so was half his camera. And I was just thinking like, oh my god, what have I done? But you know,
very
still in
professional
character.
to break character. Must commend you on that.
But the thing is, I was being judged, so I was like, I have to do something
are going to nail this. You will not lose points.
Yeah, but also acknowledge that I've screwed up. So I was like, okay, pretend pick your nose and flick a booger at them, just to be like, I've acknowledged that I've screwed up on this side, but right now I don't care.
And did by any chance see his reaction of anything, or were you just in the moment and trying to?
I did blank out a bit because I was like, oh my god, this is just going to hell. But all I remember was after the booger flick, I obviously I don't know what expression I had on my face, but I just remember the crowd screaming and laughter. But I don't remember anything in front of my face. It's just blank. But I just remember hearing stuff. And then I did something else to the judges, and I walked off stage, and the minute I got off stage, I just was making this beeline to the cameraman. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, are you okay? Is your camera okay? They were fine, they actually.
I said no.
No, there was no damage.
And luckily no damage to the camera.
No, that was my issue. I'm like, I don't care about the person. Is your camera
no
okay?
worry, I don't have the money to pay that. That's a bit too expensive.
Yeah, so no, it was all fine. Nothing was damaged. It was just like a fun joke. And in the end, I actually won.
Wow.
Yeah, I won by screwing up. So guys, if you screw up in a competition,
just own up
fear
to
not.
it.
Just own up and you'll win.
People, it's so easy just to hide stuff, whatever.
Yeah,
Sometimes you improvise on the spot much better. And tell me, you also get confused a lot, seeing as you do cross-playing a lot of times at expos and cons for a guy.
Oh yeah?
And probably any person trying to pick you up, or, a pickup line, or...
I think a lot of the time is because most of my followers have seen me from like Facebook or Instagram or something like that, where it's just a picture. So, which is really nice, because in a picture I can really control my settings, I can control how I look, my image. So they see that and they go, boy. which is great because I'm actually a girl and I think I don't look very manly at all.
Quickly just see some of the photos that we have here, if I can just get it as well.
So,
I mean, most of you,
that's
I mean...
is. He cost me $2,000. Anyway, and yeah, so a lot of them, I've said multiple times I'm a girl. Like, I don't hide the fact that I'm female, but they obviously don't pick that up. So I've had a lot of times people come up to me at cons and maybe assuming I'm a guy or I don't know.
Well, but look at this as well from One Punch Man.
Yeah,
I mean, really, I mean, you must really look in detail to see that. You still probably can't see that it's a girl. Your whole posing, your texture, and also your embodiment of your characters as well. So,
I've got a really good blank face. Like, I have no expression, which works sometimes. So for like Sang-woo, he actually was one of the characters that someone thought I was a guy. And because they saw this picture, I posted this picture last year or something. And yeah, early last year. And they knew me as Sang-woo, funny enough, that's actually perfect. And they came to me at Rage. And they were like, oh, like Yama, I know you're Sang-woo. And then I get really excited when someone recognizes me or my character. So now it's this high-pitched voice like, oh my god! And their faces just, it's like utter horror. Like, it's a girl. So that happens quite a few times, which I do kind of feel bad about. But at the same time, it gives me like a little giggle because then I feel like, okay, I've done a good job, but I'm so sorry.
it's a little bit of a practical joke. You almost say like, oh, I got you, I'm convincing to,
But
I caught you out.
sometimes they laugh and sometimes it's utter horror. So that's a bit of a mixed situation.
Anyone that made a lewd or like a explicit reaction like holy whatever when
yeah,
they
lots.
realize really
Yeah, lots.
and then
You're a girl? Yeah.
is it difficult not to laugh?
I do. I'm not gonna. I just.
Okay, because I know some cosplayers feel too awkward or they feel they offend the people asking or whatever.
Oh no, because I mean the thing is I don't hide it online, so I don't feel like I should be hiding it in real life when they come up to me. So if you mistake me for a guy, okay, first of all it excites me because that means I've kind of done my job properly as trying to crossplay a male character. So if you do think I'm a guy, most of the time that I laugh, I'm laughing out of like excitement / embarrassment because now I've dashed your dreams because literally someone was like, told me, oh, I thought you're a guy, my dreams are smashed.
And that's the best reaction you can give at that moment as well.
It's like, sorry. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. But it's a lot of fun.